Friday night lights at Kingsholm, the defending champions Gloucester-Hartpury, unbeaten so far this season, and with a chance tonight to secure their place in this season's playoffs against Amy Turner's Harlequins team, who could do with continuing their progress in terms of recent performances, scoring 16 tries in their last 3 matches. Let's have a look at the teams then, starting with Sean Lynn's line-up for Gloucester-Hartpury. Just 2 changes from their win against Exeter here last Saturday, and they're both injury-enforced in the pack. Gwen Crabb replaced by Kate Williams in the second row, while Alex Matthews has a dead leg. So hooker Kelsey Jones is deputising in the back row, which sees Niamh Jones into the starting number 2 shirt. Mo Hunt captains the side alongside Clokey George, who started every match at fly half this season. Millie Hyatt has a 5th consecutive start next to Hannah Jones. Emma Singh, who we heard from earlier, off farm duties tonight, scooping up high balls at the back tonight rather than anything else. On the bench, a first possible PWR appearance for Gwen Hodkins, along with wrecking ball Cecilia Tuipulotu, who we know plenty about. From Harlequins then, 2 changes in the pack, 1 out wide with another little reshuffle. Amy Turner equally forced into a change, with Sarah Bonner taking a minor knock while in camp with Scotland. So South African Danelle Lochner steps in alongside Caitlin Leaney in the second row. In the front row, Wales, Caris Phillips switches to start with Connie Powell, ready to make an impact when called upon. And on the left wing then, first start for Amy Laser, with Izzy Mayhew pushing her way into the 13 shirt alongside Tuima. Well, on the right wing, Team GB's 7s flyer Heather Cowell in after scoring on her first touch against Exeter 2 weeks ago. Emily Scott captaining the side. And on the bench, Katie Muir, welcome returnee 9 months after dislocating her hip. Rachel Burford is also back in the mix. Well, Harlequins used to be Gloucester-Hartpury's bogey team, only winning 1 in 10 matches not long ago. But the champions have had the beating of the Londoners the last 3 times they've met. January 2 years ago, the last Harlequins victory. And Ellie Kildunn, the hair in full flow tonight. And Emily Scott, England international. She brought up the 100 against Katie Daly-McLean's Sale Sharks a couple of weeks ago. 38 caps for England for Emily Scott. And Mo Hunt is ready to lead out the Gloucester-Hartpury side. We know that if the champions achieve victory here this evening, well, they will secure themselves a home semi-final with 3 rounds to go. What an achievement that would be. Those semi-finals will be cruising towards us in early June. Cherry and Whites listening in as Sarah Beckett lays down the law. They had a bit of Taylor Swift blaring out of the PA earlier. Beckett singing along as she came out, walking down the touchline. It is a banger, it's fair to say. Well, what better way to spend your International Women's Day than with 46 of the most talented, skillful, inspirational and powerful women's athletes in our wonderful game. Make that 47 if we're adding Sarah Cox, our referee. 48, Katie Daly-McLean.
Thank you, we got there in the end.
49, Nikki O'Donnell. 50, Sarah Elgin. 51, LJ. We could be here for quite a while. Plenty of inspiration all around us.
All right, make sure we're on side.
Clokey George gets ready to get things underway. PWR, Friday night lights in the West Country. The Londoners have come down. They're going to be staying overnight down here. Got themselves installed in a hotel round the corner, so they're here. They've had a restful afternoon, turned up ready to do a job. And it's Lucy Packer whose first job is to feed Ellie Kildunn. It's interesting, Katie Daly-McLean, that VT that was a beautiful little feature with Ellie Kildunn, and she talks about wanting to be the best player in the world, the best player of men, of women. I was thinking on the way down, sort of historically we know that she's a real running threat, but actually she's kicked the most in play. She's the 4th on the list out of everyone in the league, so she's really added that to her game as well.
Yeah, and I think it's great to see, isn't it? Like, just the aspiration of wanting to be the best player in the world is awesome. But, yeah, I talked about Emma Singh's kicking game, didn't I? But didn't even touch on Ellie Kildunn. She's got a big right boot as well.
Gloucester-Hartpury on the attack then, as Hunt feeds George. George into that midfield, big shot on Georgia Brock. Picked up that player of the match last week, but there are a few people around these parts that think that player nod might have gone to somebody else. And, well, chatted to Sean Lynn just down pitch side, had the opportunity to catch up with Natasha Hunt during the week. Pip Hendy on the left wing for Gloucester-Hartpury is a player who is really impressing them around here. And they've got a sharp eye on her progression. It hasn't got into touch, though. Maggie Tuima did well to hold on to it. Hunt has to backpedal, and Singh was there to offer support. Emma Singh, Grand Slam winner in that campaign with the Women's Six Nations last year. Hunt, Muir. Needs to be careful that wasn't forwards. Back in field, released out the back, Kate Williams. Bethan Lewis, always an option to carry into the midfield. There's Millie Hyatt, Kerrin Lake on the bench. Sean Lynn rewarding Hyatt with decent performances in that 12 shirt. Talk to the players about Sean Lynn. They love the transparency, the honesty they get from him. They know where they stand. Shauna Brown looking to try and put the tackle in, but it's good continuity from Gloucester-Hartpury. Well, commentary curse, just as they lose a bit of that connection. But it is going to be Hyatt who wastes no time in saying, we just need to go forwards here, and that's what they'll also get from 42 Cap Wales international Bethan Lewis. George, and it's just being tipped on, and Kelsey Jones helping it find its way around to that left-hand side, and look at the strength from Hendy. Does well to keep the ball in play as well, and away from that touchline. Felt for all the money, she might have been shepherded over it. Neve Jones was one option, but it's not going to come to the Northern Irish woman. It's Williams who sent it away. Takey George looking cross-field, it's just going to be a little too much. But what a spell of possession that is from the home side in the opening 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's the home side. That's exactly how they would have wanted to build into this game. They want to keep the ball. They want to go through their faces. For Quins, that was a great defensive effort, though, you know. They got players. I think Fleming made that first shot early in it, just got out the line, a big tackle. But it does sap your energy if you're constantly having to defend. But that lady, I talked about her last week. She was absolutely outstanding, Hendy. And again, she's just so strong. Like you say, no right. Ellie Kildunn is no slouch. She takes her on the outside. And then Heather Cowell as well. And she fights her way to stay in and not go into touch.
She seems to have an ability to absorb that contact.
Take him back.
Kildunn. Lovely spiral on the kick. That's why it's just flown over the head of Blakey George. Oh, to 50-22. What a kick from Ellie Kildunn. The meterage gain there, phenomenal.
Yeah, I think that was 22-22 there. It wasn't just fit. Yeah, well inside her 22. Bringing back the spiral. We don't see as much of it these days. And yeah, I think as well, Harlequins have the win, so she's got a nice little breeze. But that was a great connection. Absolutely perfect.
You'd have loved one of those in your day, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Been very happy with that. Shauna Brown with the peel. Where was the guard from Gloucester-Hartpury? Harlequins nearly helping themselves through Caitlin Leaney. Oh, but it went forwards from Brown.
Chatting to Amy Turner just before the game, and she was talking to myself, Mo Hunt there, and she was telling Mo Hunt that she had a special move for her from the lineup. So I wonder if that was it.
Well, certainly there was a gaping hole, wasn't there? They've slightly given away the move now with the forward pass as well, but look at this.
Yeah, it's wide open, isn't it? She just needed to hold her feet there. Karis Phillips allow Shauna Brown, but the hole was definitely there. Exploited a Gloucester-Hartpury weakness.
Karis Phillips, of course, it was.
Harlequins.
6th appearance of the season for the former Welsh captain. Front rows go down. Sarah Cox is being told, is telling rather, Mo Hunt to use it. Beth Lewis will oblige.
And use it! Quins, you need to be on side.
Sarah Cox, who's been plying her trade in the men's Premiership as well. It's just her 3rd PWR match of the season. And that clearance will do.
No, enough for the head.
Harlequins benefiting from this field position still off the back of that early kill done, as you say, 22-22.
Yeah, it was a great hit. I think the wind is strong, so it'll be really interesting for Harlequins. You know, you talk about having the wind in the first half, how they use it. They need to make sure that they take points, because having a wind and just playing in and around Gloucester's 22 and not taking any points could get them in trouble in the second half.
Red zone conversion, as they say. All important. Sarah Cox is already signalling that if it stops again, it's going to need to be used for Quins. Lucy Packer is going digging for it. She's got no option on the left wing. Emily Scott is clapping her hands. She wants it. Mo Hunt has done well to disrupt the pass from Packer. Scott back against the grain. And is this going to be the turnover? Yes, it is. Neve Jones straight in over the ball. Super work from the Irish hooker.
We know Gloucester are a very good attacking side, but also they have forced the most turnovers in their own 22. So from a defensive point of view, exactly what we've seen. Mo Hunt sniping around the back, and then Neve Jones in such a low position over the ball there.
We talked about the battle of the 2 nines pre-game, and here it is.
Lucy Packer just hasn't seen her, has she? It's really hard because she's come round her blind side, and then look at the body position from Neve Jones. Tarani just can't move her.
Gloucester managed to drive it down, but Mo Hunt gets the penalty from Sarah Cox and starts to snipe down this short side. Manages to get the ball away for Nell Metcalf. 19-year-old, another one of these youngsters that Sean Lynn has got at his disposal on the wing in the absence of the likes of Rachel Lund. And now through Hyatt they continue to play over on the far side as it goes from Singh to Hendy into the Harlequins 22. Solid run from Sarah Beckett. Oh, but that's the turnover penalty the other way. Harlequins might be missing a few. It might be the sort of position that you'd see like Sir Jade Conkle, who we know is out at the minute. With all of the momentum behind Gloucester-Hartpury, turnover was super.
Really important turnover for Quins, that, wasn't it? You know, Gloucester, for all intents and purposes, looked like they were going to be in to score. Really good phase here, but it's just really good chop tackle. Emily Robinson there, by getting Beckett down on the ground, just gives Abby Fleming an opportunity to get in and over the ball. Really, really good play from their back row there.
Packer to Emer at first receiver. Emily Scott then on the wraparound, and it's Shauna Brown who'll be the battering round through the middle. Packer half caught in 2 minds, but was able to just get past the first tackle. Then it is on for Fleming, former Exeter Chiefs, I should say. To Emer. Oh, it looked like she was winding up the big one, but it was the soft one instead for Heather Cowell, and it's Heather Cowell against Lakey George. There's only one winner. Heather Cowell getting through, but Mo Hunt coming across to make the tackle. Captain's responsibility. Quins can reload. It's to Emer away for Scott. Scott that time met by George. Harlequins will wonder how they haven't scored yet. So close. It's Brown for the line and for the score. Gloucester-Hartpury might have been knocking on the door in the Harlequins 22, but the visitors are the first ones on the scoreboard. Shauna Brown after the break from Heather Cowell.
I mean, for me, this is made by Tuma there. It's this fraction delay. She gives the no look and she just drops Heather Cowell into that space, and then Heather Cowell just takes off, doesn't she? Stands Claky George up in the middle, but Mo Hunt take a bow there. She's come, what, 50, 60 metres to make that tackle, and then Quins just go into the game that we know them for, that big, tight game. Shauna Brown has carried very, very well for Quins all season and gets her just rewards there.
First score of the match then, Shauna Brown, her 4th of the season. Out of retirement in July. Back into the fray. Wasn't going to be stopped from that sort of distance. Tuima then, who got them going, will add the extra 2 points. Harlequins not reading the script that Gloucester-Hartpury wanted to write so far this evening. They lead by 7 points to 0. What about that cover tackle, though, from Mo Hunt? That was quite something. Let's see, where does she start from? Where's Mo Hunt on this?
For me, yeah, she's in the line, isn't she? She's on the edge. So she's come from Quins' 10 and just good line. She's gone diagonally across the pitch, and it is a great tackle. Like, fair play. If you want to talk about teams that want to go win something, they win on moments like that.
Harlequins have, of course, led the likes of Saracens
Take
and
it back! Quins hold!
Gloucester when they've played them, but not necessarily come out on the right side of the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to be interesting for this Quins side, you know. When you look at the bench, Gloucester have got Tuilokpu to come on. Quins just don't kind of have the same firepower on their bench. Obviously, Rachel Burford's returning, which is great to see. But I think the game, and like we say, this wind is quite strong, so it's really important that Quins build a score in this first half.
Just loose from Lewis in the line out.
Ladies, let's just go a little bit quicker. Come on, in we come, in we come.
Karis Phillips.
Here we go.
So we see the Harlequins coaching staff, Amy Turner in the back, of course. Tabai Matson. Now then, this is Kildun just wanting to dink it through, chases on, Singh will go back. It was Amy Lazel on her first start, who joined in July from Bristol Bears.
It's a really lovely touch that from Ellie Kildun again. Really smart decision. We know Gloucester is struggling to exit from their 22, and again just drops it onto her left foot, doesn't she? Picks the space, and on a pitch like this, the ball will roll.
Gloucester-Hartpury get themselves out of this area of the field and moving nicely upfield to begin with, but Jones felt she had to break. Harlequins lying on the wrong side. They'll get themselves the penalty. There'll be no quick tap here.
Really cheap penalty to give that away. After a really good approach play from Quins, could have quite easily fallen and moved there, but just got caught in between, and it's a really easy penalty for Sarah Cox to give.
And now Lochner. South African was just finding herself on that wrong side.
Just got you on the end of that, right?
Another one that just sailed over the top. Of course, Hartpury's line out hasn't been happy hunting for them. They're down in the sort of bottom 4 as far as line out successes. So it is an area where there is room for improvement with the home side, and it's working out for Harlequins at this point as it comes to Mayhew. Played well at the stoop when our cameras were there for that clash against Sale Sharks, as Tirani then has it, assisted by Brown, dumped on the floor by Lewis. That was a low one for Scott to take, then finds Latcher, who's having to wrestle and get hold of it, and Babawa Latcher, South African captain, managing to do just that. Then it's there, Tuima again whipping it away. Such a good distributor of the ball.
the side.
Looking to try and get hold of possession, to try and look after it. Quins come steaming in at the side, so Gloucester-Hartpury will get that penalty. You can see the wind on Ricky George's hair there, and Muir just picking up in their face.
It's quite windy, isn't it? Do you want me to put the time off? Yeah, okay, no problems. Time off.
So there is a bit of a tension.
Yes.
I'll see who it is over on the far side just now. But
if you look at this penalty though here, you just see the entry angle from Tuma there. It's again, it's really easy one for the referee to give. Got to be straight. She's never gets through the gate. Angle from the side. So from Quins, stuff like that, they've got to get out of their game, because Gloucester-Hartpury aren't going to give them lots and lots of opportunities. So those moments are really crucial.
Tell you a little secret, Katie Daly-McLean. When I did my level 1, 2, 3 referees course about 15 years ago, they said what you should do when you see a breakdown is to imagine 2 fence panels, like garden fence panels, either side, sort of parallel up the pitch. So if you see a player coming in at the side, they basically have broken through that sort of visual you've given yourself. And yeah, Langi Tuima came straight through the fence, the garden fence panel.
She did, didn't she? She was going to have splinters somewhere there.
So Neve Jones has had a bit of attention. She looks ready to get back and rejoin us.
Quins, all good? Ready to go? Time on. Entry number 12.
George. What really good effort. Into the wind as well.
Set them on the line. Yeah, set on the line.
Very good kick, isn't it? Kept it low, just drilled it towards that touch line. Didn't want to get any height in it in case the wind took it away.
Oh, the movement at the front. Oh, but Jones got it back super quickly.
Set the line up. Set the line up.
Georgia Brock knew what the call was. Execution just letting it down.
Pass just came back a bit too hard, didn't it, to Neve Jones, trying to reset and make sure she was behind the ball.
Phillips, Lochner. Tuima again at first receiver. Where's she going to give it? Short ball, deep ball. Decides to carry. It's what you want from a player that is going to ask those second and third questions of a defence. Are they standing off, expecting? Well, nobody's standing off from Gloucester-Hartpury in terms of that breakdown. Straight in, having had a bit of treatment. Neve Jones is becoming turnover queen. Now then, Mo Hunter's decided to tap this, and they've got very few numbers over on that left side as Haya looks to try and straighten. Hendy will go. Right-hand fend from Hendy. Up to 6 metres out. Gloucester-Hartpury on the attack, having conceded the early try. Bethan Lewis. Big collision in midfield. Neve Jones is in there trying to help out, but it looks like Shauna Brown might have got on this. Oh no, Quins on the wrong side.
Onto the ball. She's going to roll a bit quicker. She allowed you onto the ball. Affected the clear out.
What's going to be the decision here?
I don't think Craigie George will kick to the line, so I think it's either scrum or they're going to take the points. Middle of the pitch and a wind, the last thing you want to do is to try and go to the touchline. To be fair, that wind has now stopped a little bit now, isn't it? It is quite gusty. So when it blows, it is blowing, and at the moment it just looks a little bit stiller until you look at the girls' hair.
Yeah. Tasha Hunt announced as local ambassador for Age UK charity this week. You know how important her family and her older relations are. Title-winning co-captain, of course. 4 starts in the last 7 for England. Last one in that victorious match of WXV in New Zealand. 15 days to go until the start of the Guinness Women's Six Nations.
Repping her good disguise in the rugby.
She's promoting her podcast,
yeah,
in a scrunchie. It's not quite tattooed branding on the face, but it's not far off. Yeah.
Yet.
El Perry still getting a bit of attention. Just getting back to her feet.
Let's just get out of the way, yeah?
Got plenty of sport coming up for you. Even with Ben Stokes back taking wickets, India still have a big lead. Catch day 3, India-England 5th test tomorrow 3:30 in the morning. TNT 3. You can see a bit of Premier League action. Man United are taking on Everton. That's tomorrow. That's an 11 o'clock kickoff. You're allowed a bit more of a lie-in for that one on TNT Sports 1 as the action gets back underway on screen. Gloucester-Hartpury getting close. Going for the line. Natasha Hunt is there. Gets the chance to feed away and the ball is in. Super score. Sarah Beckett. Always going to find the try line from that sort of distance. Gloucester-Hartpury trust the systems, trust the support lines, and it's Beckett with her 5th or 6th of the season.
It was a well-worked try, though, wasn't it? Looks like a little NFL penalty move there. One group steps in, steps away, Beckett comes in, and then they just fall into their shape. They run this in their sleep, you know. Big carriers, more Muir on one, then you've got Beckett on the next, and then if not, you've got Brock or Lewis round the corner on the one. But yeah, nice bit of trickery in there from Gloucester tonight.
Some smoke, some mirrors. Successful conversion from Emma Singh as well. We're all square. Gloucester-Hartpury 7, Harlequins 7.
Ready when you are.
Done. Puts it a little deeper than immediately contestable, and it's Beckett who will carry almost the distance she did for the try. Hunt wanted to send that a little further infield. Made eyes with Kate Williams to ensure that the second row could get hold of it. Beckett again. Jones. Hunt looks for George. George, options. Deep is Hyatt. Have they got some room to try and get the run on the outside of Cowell here? It's Singh. Steps one way, then back against the GB7's player. Cowell, who was on that 7th circuit, played in Perth, didn't go to Vancouver or LA. It's Hunt. Here's George again. Hyatt. Could be a gap there for Lewis if she chooses to take advantage of it. Just had to stutter the run slightly, which allowed the Harlequins defence to stop backpedaling and get a little bit more balanced in their footwork as Maud Muir takes it forwards. Happily will carry, named in that training squad.
No.
Red Rose will be looking forward to that England Six Nations campaign, and that one bobbles. It's weighing. Tricky one for Kildun to take. It will be the Harlequins line-out.
Lovely little kick by Mohan, isn't it? Very good friends with Ellie Kildun in England camp as well. So, but once they're playing, look at that, it's lovely. She's got her head up, she's identified Ellie's at the back on her own. And it's just a really well-placed kick, isn't it? As soon as it's bobbling, so hard for Ellie to pick up there, especially when you're coming across. Very good kick by Mohan.
Crowd like the idea that Ellie Kildun touched it before it went over the line. But they would. Laksha. Kelsey Jones needs to make sure she's getting low enough in the tackle. Packer back for Kildun. George in for Singh. Whipped it away. Emma Singh looking at where the options might be to run. Top point scorer for Gloucester-Hartpury with 82 now with tonight's conversion. Hunt for George. Neve Jones, the dummy runner in midfield. Beckett was there. Nearly offered herself for Lochner to get in and get over the ball. But now George, winds up the big one over the top. Hannah Jones just lurking out there on that left wing. Named as the Welsh skipper for another Six Nations campaign, Hannah Jones, international class across this Gloucester-Hartpury outfit. Mo Hunt looks for it from Perry on the floor. Oh, it's a lovely dummy from Jones. Jones going, eventually scragged by Packer. That was lovely from the outside centre. Now Niamh Jones, Welsh international, Irish international, back for Lakey George. And then Beckett plays link player for Singh, who's just carving a way through. Lovely balance running from the fullback. Mo Hunt out for Muir, and now it's Muir who's stepping through. More Muir for the line! What a score! Poise and stepping of a winger, by the power of a front row forward. What a score for Maud Muir. Gloucester-Hartpury second.
Didn't need our winger, did she? When you've got all of that, you know, again, Gloucester-Hartpury, Sarah Beckett this time linking, Emma Singh taking on players, beating players, you know, her and Ellie Kildunne are having a fantastic battle, but what a finish by Maud Muir there. Little dummy, she breaks 3 tackles and then basically drags Ellie Kildunne over the line, doesn't she? While our winger's just following her in behind. But yeah, great pace, such a blazing runner, and it's a very, very good finish.
Like a runaway truck, and Ellie Kildunne was in the back working out how to get to the driver's seat, and there was no chance.
Train, more like.
Yeah, either one. Power for Muir, but deft little dummy as well. Singh to go 2 out of 2. Walloped that one beautifully. Gloucester-Hartpury up to 14, Harlequins on 7.
It is lovely, isn't it? It's a little dummy. And then once she's in motion, so difficult. Got a good stride. Like you say, Ellie Kildunne is just trying to clamber in to try and get a hold of one of those ankles.
Kildunne's gone super deep with that restart. Might go all the way, but in fact, no. And Mo Hunt's not interested in dotting it down for a goal line dropout. She's just going to make the clearance.
I think Mo could have been a bit more patient there, you know. I think it looked like that bounce has got to roll out the back. Rolls out the back, we come all the way back to the halfway line.
Did just take a bounce and sit up, didn't it? But yeah. 25 minutes on the clock. Gloucester-Hartpury, typically a first-half team. They've thrown most of their punches in the first 40 minutes in terms of tries scored over the course of the season. Quins, much more of an evenly spread outfit, but they do tend to concede in those periods either side of half-time. So they will want to try and stay on the front foot here as Mayhew receives it from Tuima. Scott. Inside. Cowell's come across from the right wing. Metcalf trying to hold those knees off the floor, but the tackle called as Lochner gets it from Brown in the tackle. Gloucester-Hartpury trying to stop it at source, but it's Packer who manages to get away. Attempted rip isn't going to be rewarded as Williams wasn't able to stay on her feet, and it's Lochner again working with Brown. But the rip has come back. Niamh Jones again in a key position to get it back, and Bethan Lewis will play it away. Hunt gets the call on the outside, and Hyatt will respond to that. Jones then, oh, for Hendy. It's gone straight through the breadbasket.
It's nice from Gloucester, though, but even better from Quins. You know, we know Quins had to score next, and it's nice play. It's good approach play. I think Tuima is going extremely well. She's bright spark of all the good bits that we're seeing from Quins, and you never know, there was Hendy going to go the length.
Niamh Jones. In fact, it was Brock that time, wasn't it? I credited Jones. She was actually the first one over the top of the ball. It was Brock got hold of it.
It's nasty, that, isn't it? When you're running at pace, ball just dropping below is not ideal.
Shauna Brown will happily take names on the way to the try line, not quite able to go all the way that time as Fleming comes forwards, wants to try and transfer it to Latcher. Need to release on the floor, it's then there. Packer will serve it away. This time Lochner getting awfully close to South African, accompanied by her fellow countrywoman Latcher. Now they go back to the other side where they're absolutely queuing up, and Heather Cowell can score Quinn second. Not much that Hendy could do about that. Over the course of this season, Harlequins have just grown into doing the right things at the right time, where perhaps they weren't pre-Christmas, pre-New Year. And that was simple. Draw the players in, find the space out wide. Katie Daly-McLean.
If only rugby was that simple, eh, Nick? Yeah, you know, it is really, really smart. Like we said, it was good build-up play. Shauna Brown on that first carry makes good ground, gets in behind. And then their forwards just go to work. You have Lochner, I think Emily Robinson was in there. They just carry really, really well. And this Quins have always been good at this area, the really tight stuff, the gritty stuff in and around the breakdown. Lucy Panker in motion again. And then as you can see, there's only one Gloucester-Hartpury defender out there. Mo tries to help, and two. You've got a 3-on-2, and it will be an easy run-in for Heather Cowell there.
Good awareness from Lucy Packer to have got the call, no doubt, from Scott. And Heather Cowell. 2 tries in 2 games. Tuima not quite able to add the extras, but Harlequins tiptoeing up closer to Gloucester-Hartpury. Home side 14, Quins with 12.
It's really important on this bit as well, that it's just good skills, like you say. Scott no doubt would have identified that, feeding that into a 9, but it's good skills, good high catch, and a nice easy run in for Heather Cowell.
It might well have put a smile on the face of Ross Chisholm. Let's hear from him. He's with LJ.
Cheers, Nick. Ross, this looks very awkward because it is. Nick said earlier on in comms that you're doing the right things at the right times. Is that how it feels after that score?
Yeah, really pleased with the attack at the moment. We're carrying the ball at depth and we're able to get over the gain line. Just got to fix up that tackle area in defence. We're giving away too many penalties at the moment, but really pleased with the start, and it's been a really evenly matched contest so far.
You made a really quick start, didn't you? But Gloucester looked dangerous from everywhere since then. How difficult are they to play against?
Yeah, look, there's a reason why they're top of the league and undefeated so far. They've got a lot of power and a lot of speed and a lot of skill. So, yeah, we knew we had to come here and just put our game on the park and really give them a good test.
How important is composure for the girls after conceding those 2 after making such a quick start?
Yeah, definitely. That's something we've really worked on in this season, is that composure. Like, teams are going to score. The game is about outscoring the opposition, so it's about actually how you reset your mind and then you go for the next action you're going to do it to the best of your ability, and I think we've done that really well tonight. We've been pretty composed.
How important is it, do you think, if you guys now get the next score?
Yeah, it's always important to just keep that scoreboard ticking. You know, probably our biggest fix-up at the moment is that defensive tackle area. As I said, we've given away far too many penalties at the moment for tackler rolling away, and it just gives Gloucester easy into the game.
Thanks for your time, Ross.
Thanks, LJ. Good to hear from Ross Chisholm. Part of the coaching ticket, Harlequins, as Lucy Packer plays it away in this field position because of the penalty and the turnover earned by that woman, Shauna Brown, back on the ball. Scott starts to call it towards the left. Ellie Kildun was on the runaround. I think Packer might have almost thought that Kildun was Scott for a moment, but that's good stepping work through the gap from Lazel. 3 tries in the Allianz Cup for Amy Lazel. Tuima looking at the option on the outside. It was just Leaney who was there. Latcher trying to keep the leg still going. Latcher, that was decent. Packer then. Scott wants it. Oh, but penalty Gloucester-Hartpury. Harlequins getting into positions of sealing the ball off, going off their feet.
Yeah, it's hard for Quins because that's the 3rd attacking penalty. Usually you don't see that. You see a lot for defensive penalties for tackler not rolling away, those high tackles, those kind of things, and less so in the attacking for entry, whereas Quins are almost just giving possession back to Gloucester because these are ones that you can control. You're going to see it just on your screen there. I mean, Quins lose a bit of shape, don't they? Ellie Kildun and Lazel do a very good job of finding it back there. Bit of a roll, fine, but it's this one here. There's just no ability to have a contest, and as soon as that player stops that contest because her chest is on her own player, then referees are going to give that decision all day.
Hunt has the chance to feed Beckett. Tweem has tried to rip it away, but Beckett's clung on. Muir. Take two Harlequins to stop her. It was a quick ball momentarily for Hunt, but then the option just shut itself down. Neve Jones then will get low in a diminutive but nuggety frame. Another good carry in those wide channels, but
use the ball. Don't start flapping at me.
heard the referee. So he was off her feet. Beckett then with the carry. Jones secures it. Claykie George on the outside looking for the options. It's Muir almost wanting to free the arms and get the New Zealander Williams away, but now Hendy, who's come across from the right. Hendy wanted to bounce off the next tackle and find Metcalfe, but the shutdown from Emily Scott was spot on. Just what was needed from Quins defensively. Gloucester-Hartpury looking for a third try. Metcalfe, one-on-one. Had work to do. Late arrival, Perry, hoping to try and find a way through. Hunt, then it's there, oh no, it's lost. And Robinson can come forwards with it with that knock-on advantage.
She hasn't blown anything.
Tried to smuggle it away to Sarah Cox. Sarah Cox would have been playing the advantage, but the player seeming to stop as if she had already blown the whistle.
You made everyone stop.
Very clear in a calm, Sarah Cox, doesn't she? And I like that. I think as a player, makes life a lot easier for referees telling you what they're seeing, whether you agree or not. You've at least got a picture to play to. She hadn't blown a whistle.
No, I think Emily Robinson must have heard something she thought was a whistle. Might have just been the bells clanging in her head after the contact. But either way, Harlequins will have the scrum.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Packer. Oh, it's a big shot from Gloucester-Hartpury. Oh, they'll get the penalty. Shauna Brown was doing her best to try and make a pick and go. Now then, Mo Hunt's having a look. Ellie Kildon spotted her England teammate.
Step back.
Now they're going to try and smuggle it and go from close quarters. It's going to be another penalty as they're offside. Brock. Hands on the ball.
Calm yourselves down. Calm yourselves down.
Back for Natasha Hunt. Sarah Cox just trying to lower the temperature slightly. They will just have a momentary breather here. And a consideration of the decision. Mo Hunt fancies a scrum. Well, they've just marmalised Harlequins on their own ball.
They did, didn't they? And Gloucester scrum has been going so well, 95%. If you watch it here, just get underneath Quins, don't they? Once they've got them moving backwards, there's nothing Quins can do. Shauna Brown, fair play, drops on it, but that's the least of our problems.
It's in stark contrast to Gloucester-Hartpury's line-out because the scrum has been hugely successful. Line-out, not so much.
Crouch!
It's always good to have one set piece that you can rely on.
And something to work on.
Bind!
Gloucester-Hartpury have gone with Singh and Metcalfe on the right-hand side of this scrum. Four options out to the left. And they're just controlling it to begin with. Now they break with Lewis, looking for Hunt. Hunt is absolutely met by Emily Scott. Super hit from the Quins fly half.
Stay up.
Had to stop that and did.
Yeah, ball is out.
Lewis back in for Perry. Tirani tries to get out of the way. Hunt. Now the release for George. Cowell has come up hard on Hyatt, and it'll be good enough. George, the little juggle with it. Then the dummy. They were all ready to drift on the outside of George, and she knew it. Back in field it comes, and Brock clung onto by Robinson. Lewis, Jones, Williams offering themselves in that trio. Jones the centre of them, then on to Williams, tackled by Latcher. Away for Perry. Perry looks to the right, gets the accompaniment of Hyatt coming through.
No, too long.
Muir, similar position to where she scored from earlier. It's not quite going to open up for Maud Muir this time, no matter how many dummies she might try and sell. Harlequins not ready to buy them just yet. Williams in there. Then it's away once more from George. Brock brought down by Mayhew. George again. Hyatt looking at the option, will then just straighten up as Latcher jumps on the back. Singh, good strength to get through Packer, looking to try and drive, but Brown and Kildan and Cowell drive them back. Lewis, 18 tackles against Exeter Chiefs, but it's carrying she's doing after Sarah Beckett, and Beckett's in for her second. Well, Sarah Beckett just grows and grows in terms of the definition of this Gloucester-Hartpury side. And a third try for the side, her second before half-time, will be just what Sean Lynn wants to see on the board.
Great retention of possession from Gloucester-Hartpury, wasn't it? Just went through their phases, so comfortable holding the ball. You know, Beth and Lewis have got so many carriers, but that line, Sarah Beckett runs it so well. That out to in, hits rather than hitting bodies, she's hitting space, she hits in between two defenders, and then she is a big ball carrier, pumps her legs, and over the line she goes.
In fine form is one Sarah Beckett. Of course, won the league title twice in 3 years with Harlequins in 2021 and then with Gloucester-Hartpury last year. She scores a second against her former club. And Emma Singh with her third. Flags are up again. 100% so far for Emma Singh, who was cruising around 68% on the way into this one, but no matter the breeze, she's making it look a breeze.
Again, she was involved, wasn't she? A real big carry. Again, fights well above her body weight, stays away from that touchline, which I think both teams have done really well. Just sets up Sarah Beckett, isn't it? You know, like we say, it's not just the forwards that can carry, their backs are carrying really well as well.
Sarah Cox nearly getting involved as the dummy runner.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah.
Clock goes into the red. Natasha Hunt sends it back for Singh. Boots it into the stands almost as if it's the 80th minute. It's the 40th minute, and it is half-time. Well, Harlequins managing to get the first punch, but Gloucester-Hartpury coming back at them. 3 tries to 2. It's one thing knowing what's coming at you from Gloucester-Hartpury, but it's another thing stopping it. They'll be pleased, but it's all poised nicely for the second half. Gloucester-Hartpury 21, Harlequins 12 at the break. And we've had a bit of news at half-time here. They've been holding back news of a couple of re-signings. And that woman right there, Natasha Hunt, announced as having re-signed. Yes, she's continuing to do her work at the Circus, along with Zoe Allcroft. If you jump onto the Gloucester-Hartpury socials, they will have all the confirmation there. But the crowd here, the first to hear, and we bring it to you as well here on TNT Sports. So, Gloucester-Hartpury 3 tries to 2. Ellie Kildan sends it down for the Gloucester-Hartpury skipper, who will basically send it right back to her. Now Kildan just has a look over the top for the options, but will opt to pass it away, and it's Tuima on for Cowell, who's trying to avoid the whitewash, but she's not going to. Hendy shows her the door.
Laggy? No. No.
I mean, this is a fantastic stat, isn't it? You know, 112 tackles versus 58. When you're thinking about the fact that Quins need to chase the game, the amount of energy that they will have put into that 112 tackles is huge. And in that last 20 minutes of the game, that could really come back and get them.
Katie Daly-McLean, Rugby World Cup winner, who is alongside us at Gloucester-Hartpury. Georgia Brock's lost a boot down there, but she's not going to go back and get it because her captain's gone searing upfield and she might be needed to support. So she's at the back of that ruck. One booting as we go, as Singh has it over on the right. Swats away Mayhew to begin with. Tuima bringing her down. Hunt gets back there. Plays it for George. Depth is being held by Hyatt, but has just knocked it on. Not the handling error. Gloucester-Hartpury would have wanted.
We haven't had many handling errors this game. I think the accuracy between both squads has been pretty good, but it's the depth that she keeps hold. Because Quins are defending quite narrow, you see there, she's just taking her eye off the boy, look what's going to come next. But because they're quite narrow, Gloucester-Hartpury want to go and play to their edges, and the depth that Hyatt's holding in that centre position is crucial to allowing the ball to get to the edge.
This might seem like a very obvious question, but you talk about getting to the edges. You're literally talking geographically the edges of the rugby field, right?
Yeah, getting the ball into the 15-metre to the 5-metre channels, getting them to really stretch a team, because as soon as you start stretching a team, then they either have to make a decision to leave holes in the middle and cover the field, or get tighter and leave you the other edge, so the opposite side.
Oh, George Brown just lost it at the back. Gloucester-Hartpury are going to be the ones to profit from it, although it wasn't the easiest one for Maud Muir to take. The Sylvia Tirani was all over here, but it's George who will now play it away, and Singh still going, getting away from Cowell, or pushing her away from her more likely. Oh, what a take from Muir on the charge. Red Rose to Red Rose as George plays it away, but well, we mentioned there have not been many handling errors, and we've had 2 in 2 minutes, Katie.
Yeah, sorry everybody, I've cursed them.
But Shauna Brown is not having it all her own way at the back of that Harlequin scrum, is she?
She's not front row, did a good job to hold it there, and just catches a second row, doesn't it? She looks to pick and peel away, and because Mo Hunt is such a poacher, she's in behind that. And here we just see how good Emma Singh's been. Ball in 2 hands, forcing Heather Cowell to make a decision, and gets a hand in the face as well for added extra.
See from that wide shot that Harlequins have got options left and right. Emily Scott on the far side, Ellie Kildown on the right, with Heather Cowell outside here. The two of them will have played in the odd sevens park or two together with that sort of space, and it's Shauna Brown who this time will want to make amends and have a decent carry from the back, but she's not releasing it under the pressure of Georgia Brock, and it's a penalty to Gloucester-Hartpury right in the middle of the field.
Georgia Brock was absolutely outstanding at this last weekend against Exeter, was in all that kind of noisy, hard, fought, messy bits that as a 10 I would never wanted to be in. And it's so crucial when you want to get the ball back that you have players that are very, very good of the ball, and she has been phenomenal. Shauna Brown does everything right here. She gets picks early before the scrum comes back. Good fend, she just gets her on the deck, and once she's in the deck, look, she's over. Really easy decision for Sarah Cox to give.
And it's always a giveaway if you see a player going for that half extra roll, isn't it? Because you sense, you know, you're under pressure, and Brown certainly was. Gloucester-Hartpury at the front. Muir on the wraparound. Hunt for Brock, wanting to try and step out of the tackle, almost would have taken Emily Robinson with her. Hunt again as Gloucester-Hartpury go in search of the 4th try and that bonus point. Kelsey Jones, not played in the back row all season, normally a hooker of course, but Alex Matthews with that dead leg and out of the team at the minute. Now it's there. Beckett wound up the big one. She puts her hand in the air. Wasn't quite what was on.
No, it wasn't, was it? She wanted to get the ball to space, identified that there was space again on that edges right next to that touchline, but I think it was Heather Cowell that comes out the line to put a lot of pressure on it and just doesn't execute the pass.
One of 2 Gloucester-Hartpury forwards in that England training camp that took part this week. Maud Muir and Sarah Beckett in there. John Mitchell will be naming his England Six Nations squad on Monday. This is Brock stepping back in. Got on the score sheet a couple of times last week as Hunt plays it away. This time Beckett driving towards the line. Or was it going to be the Beckett hat-trick? Knew she was going to be short, so now Flaky George, they pop it up. It's Singh looking for Metcalf. Metcalf for the corner. Gloucester-Hartpury have their 4th try. Bonus point secured. And they open up more daylight between themselves and the visitors. 19 years of age, Nell Metcalf. 2 caps for Wales with a debut last September against the USA, was then involved in WXV. Second try in 8 games.
It's all from a Quins error, isn't it? You know, overthrow, ball sits up nicely, and then Gloucester just go to work. Round the corner, looked like Sarah Beckett was maybe going to get the hat-trick, and then here, doesn't happen how they would have planned, but Hannah Jones just rolls with it. Emma Singh's on her shoulder. They just want to keep the ball alive because they know the space is out towards that touchline, and Good Hands just gets her away. And, you know, when you've got pace like Nell Metcalf, it's pretty hard to stop her, isn't it?
Ellie Kildane is the only defender out there who was sort of going door to door, wasn't she? Hoping she'd be able to stop the last player in possession, but they had the width and had the space.
Especially when you've got no turf behind you to go back to.
Emma Singh, another one of those in that England training squad this week. That one will be the first one she's not going to nail of the night, but wind behind her. It's a little trickier one to line up, but Gloucester-Hartpury up to 26.
Yeah, it's just well moved, isn't it? Emma Singh, link play. Again, like you say, Ellie Kildane trying to put pressure, trying to stop the ball, but when Gloucester had an overlap, found the space, got the ball there.
Are the Cherry and Whites in that squad? Natasha Hunt, of course, and then those who are rehabbing, Zoe Allcroft being one of them, Tatiana Hurd another, and Alex Matthews. But look at this run. Just scoring a try and then fancying taking all the metres again. Gloucester-Hartpury with their tails up here. Jones, Hyatt looked at the little offload round the back, opted not to give it. Probably the right decision as Brock sets them up. Claykie George wanted to just put a messy grubber through for Ellie Kildane to have to deal with. It will be a Harlequins line-out, but it'll just be inside their 22. An area of the field they do not want to be in right now. What about the run from Metcalf, though?
It's lovely, isn't it? Good hands again. Great. I think Bethan Lewis with the pass just backs herself on the outside, isn't she? And again, strength, broke 1, 2, 3 tackles on the way through. It's things you love to see for wingers, isn't it? You know, backing themselves, full of confidence, running hard again, and then she just keeps the ball alive. Gloucester want to play with pace. They don't want this game to be slow.
Line out. Over the top, and it's Gloucester-Hartpury through Kelsey Jones, who tidy it up. Now they get the chance to reload. Hunt, George, over the top. This for Hendy. Hendy to finish against Cowell. Hendy will beat it there. Well, we've talked about the strength of Pip Hendy over the course of the first half, consistently steering herself away from that whitewash, and that time, one-on-one with Heather Cowell, able to make it pay. Sean Leon has talked about the fact that he's had his eye on Pip Hendy since she was 18, wanted to just gently drip feed her into this team, and by all accounts, the rest of the squad are really enjoying seeing the development of this young lady.
Yeah, she was so good last weekend as well, but it's just strength, isn't it? You know, it's a great ID from Gloucester. That lady, Claykie George, put the ball on a play for it, and then Pip Hendy just has to stay big and strong. Heather Cowell doing all she can to push her to that touchline, to get her out of field of play. And you know what it is? She is so strong, so powerful, but also full of confidence. To take your opposite winger on when you've probably got 2 metres to the touchline just shows what a confident young lady she is.
Sort of offering something that perhaps a few other wingers in the country aren't at the minute as well. We've got plenty of out-and-out flyers, but that real power on the outside as well.
She's a bit more like Kat Merchant-esque, isn't she? Like really strong, likes that physical battle, likes to kind of be in the middle of bodies, and yet, like you say, a lot of flyers, but probably don't have as much of a physical nature.
Well, it's a superb effort from Emma Singh. Well, as we saying beforehand, that one out wide might have proved a bit too testing. She's had no problem with that one at all. Gloucester-Hartpury 33 now, and well, Harlequins have to be careful now. Home side really have their tails up in front of the crowd on a Friday night as Hendy gets number 5. The restart has not gone 10 metres from Ellie Kildane.
And this is where it gets hard, isn't it? This is where you need your leaders, the likes of Ellie, the likes of Lucy Packer, Emily Scott, who played for the club 103 times, to really get a hold of it, you know. She's trying to drop it short to allow Quins the opportunity to get the ball back. But again, really windy day, so it's really important now that Quins get hold of this game. Don't allow any more errors, keep hold of the ball.
Well, they made the replacement Harlequins as well. They brought Rachel Burford on, recovered from a hamstring injury, and 84 England caps, 4 World Cups, a couple of sevens ones as well in her last season. She comes into the centre, so Izzy Mayhew will move out to that left wing. Hunt will switch it. Hannah Jones. Hendy again. Kildun. Swatted away. Brock. Nice inside line. Hunt for George. Dummy offers. Singh. Mayhew had to come in and shut that down, but Neve Jones is there to be able to offer that to Metcalf, who goes inside and outside, and Metcalf will score her second. And Gloucester-Hartpury are tearing their way through Harlequins.
She fall over. You did. I think you meant now.
They just prick their ears up when they're in that sort of range.
Oh, yeah, no,
Metcalf, the scorer that time.
They're making it really, really hard for Harlequins at the moment because they're playing such a wide game here. We see from the scrum, Hendy, great carry into Ellie Kildun, into Heather Cowell, so strong. And then from that phase, they're pretty much moving coast to coast to go all the way back again. And it's just so hard for Quins, you know. Good read there from Mayhew, but can't stop the ball. And we saw the pace of Metcalf earlier on, and she just finishes so well in the corner. But for me, Quins need to do something about speed of ball here. They can't just keep letting Gloucester having it their own way. Otherwise, Gloucester will do this all evening to them.
Singh from the right, she has a good look at it. Oh, it's another one! And with this sort of accuracy and this sort of form, well, it's a big tick in the box in terms of selection around England possibilities, and that 15 shirt, she'll be battling Ellie Kildun at the other end for that opportunity under John Mitchell.
Definitely, you know, as you watch Metcalf run that in, when you've got a kicker that is banging them over from the touchline in weather conditions like this with a swirly wind, it's really impressive. She's also striking it so well.
Emily Robinson, then for Burford, then Leaney, Australian, who we know is off to the Waratahs for a bit of Super W. Always part of the plan for Caitlin Leaney. Tuima for Brown. Packer. Tuima again. Kildun, the dummy runner. Scott a little deeper. Combination of Bethan Lewis and Mo Hunt coming forwards to try and slow that one down. Tirani. No doubt be part of that Italian squad at the start of the Women's Six Nations against England, but caught. Siobhan McCarthy, was it, who got over that? It was interesting you said a couple of moments ago, Katie, about the fact that Harlequins need to be careful of giving Gloucester-Hartpury the space. I don't mean to bring this back to a Sale Sharks moment, but certainly when your side played against Harlequins at the Stoop, it seemed at a certain point when Quins got their tails up that actually defensively you're sort of worried about what the next option might be, that you do stand off, and actually that's the worst thing to do because you're giving a team with confidence the room to play, and that's what you've got to try and stop.
Definitely. I mean, ultimately you've got to get off the line. Like defensively, you've got to try and do something to change the picture. And what Quins can't do is, like you say, they can't get passive because Gloucester have so many big ball carriers that just keep taking the gain line. They're taking the gain line, defences are going backwards, and it's so difficult to come forwards to make dominant hits.
Amy Turner, a little sigh and scratch of the brow, as no doubt makes difficult viewing. They are the unbeaten side, the defending champions at the top of the league, for good reason.
Clear on the release, please.
Brock didn't release before she went back in.
The other thing to add now is this wind, because obviously Quins has spent a lot of time in their 22. It's really hard to exit. This is a big kick for Tuma. She just wants to get this out, otherwise it just hangs up. She does a great job, but it makes that territory battle really, really hard if you're only making 25, 30 metres on each kick.
It was a period where there were quite a number of Harlequins in an England squad, not so many this time. Tuima, one of those who's not in consideration. She had a contract extension with Quins last summer, but missed out on an England contract. Was involved in last year's Six Nations, but not currently in the mix. But there's certainly been flashes of the old Tuima tonight in terms of the options of putting people through holes and making the tackles.
Yeah, definitely. I think she's looked really bright. When they've had front foot ball and they've been going forward, I think Tuma's gone extremely well.
It's gone out on the full.
Just on the front there, please.
I wonder how much we can read into these training camps that John Mitchell has had over the course of February and January. Amber Reid, of course, not named as well, who we know has been a firm 10 or centre in the mix.
Also gone extremely well for Bristol this season.
Absolutely. That's things from an English perspective. We'll come on to things from a Welsh perspective. There's Lucy Packer, England scrum half.
Advantage over.
Shauna Brown, oh, in the desperation to get the offload away. Shauna Brown, she's just handed it over. She is third on the list of offloads, but normally to her own teammates, not so much to the opposition. Oh, but that's been turned over. And that's one for Robinson. Tuima out on the other side to have a penalty and take some meterage.
And I think that's all Quins have got to do. Just keep taking little moments, just work your way up into Gloucester 22, and then when you get there, you've got to take some points. You watch it here, it's a lovely little pick, a trademark of Shauna Brown. I wonder if she's got a call there from Georgia Brock, who thinks it was a Quins teammate.
Shauna Brown, work done.
You're done, Ramsey.
Leads the club's tally for tackles. Right up there with the carries and the offloads, as we mentioned over the course of the game as well. Relentless performer for Harlequins. Packer under all sorts of pressure. Connie Powell is onto the field, having replaced Karis Phillips, who is one of those named in Johan Cunningham's Six Nations squad, that named this week. Packer looking away for Fleming. Burford. Kildunn. Katie Mew has also come onto the field for Harlequins. First appearance of the season since a dislocated hip, which is possibly one of the more unpleasant sounding injuries I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds absolutely horrific, doesn't it? No. I mean, that is an amazing 9 months to get back playing at this level. Really, really impressive.
Quite a run of penalties now being given away by Gloucester-Hartpury. Emma Singh has tried to keep that in, but assistant referee's flag has gone up. Crosses the plane and it's out. They can have the benefit of another little look. That's clearly over the line.
Can't bring it back into the field of play now, can you? Once upon a time that was a rule, though.
Harlequins from the line-out. What can they build from here? Connie Powell's trying to latch herself onto the back of that. It's gone to ground now. There is the penalty. Powell considers the quick one, but Packer is over it. What's going to be the call? Emily Scott comes in. It's going to be Tuima for the corner. Talked about the fact that the line-out hasn't been the strongest area for Gloucester-Hartpury, so Harlequins just have to focus on getting this right, getting this catch and drive.
A lot of pressure on Connie Powell, isn't it? The last couple haven't gone exactly how she would have liked.
Up against her former club, of course, Connie Powell, signed as league champion from Gloucester-Hartpury. And she's got the ball under her mitt at the back there. 5 metres becomes 4 metres. She decides to go herself, and she will score. Believed in herself, Connie Powell. 7 tries for Gloucester-Hartpury last season. She's got her 3rd of the season for Quins.
It's a really smart decision, you know. She got her first job right, line out throw good, nice and straight, well formed. And you can just see her, she has a couple of looks, doesn't she? Identifies more Hunt and then goes after it. And it's a really good decision, you know. Sometimes I think hookers don't back themselves enough to stay in that maul there. But as that maul shifts, she's identified a scrum half and she goes and picks her off.
Not quite able to nail that one. The Quins have a 3rd try on the board.
10. Mo 10. 10.
So Gloucester making the change. Flaky George is coming off, and it's been another decent display by her. She is in that Wales squad for the Women's Six Nations, and she's been on super form, helping steer this side right around the park over the course of the season. She'll be in that squad with those alongside her in this back line, the likes of Hannah Jones, Nell Metcalf as well named in the squad, Karen Lake who's on the bench. All the Gloucester-Hartpury players, Kelsey Jones among them, Abby Fleming at Quins, Kate Williams, Bethan Lewis, another of those in the cherry and whites. Now, Ellie Kildunn. Oh, she's wanting to clock up the defenders' beaten stats even further than they are. Then gets turned over. Mew appealing to the referee.
Yeah, I mean, she's under a lot of pressure there. She carries into it. Mo Hunt, Brock's in there, 3 Gloucester players hunting her down, and then again just that good body position by Brock, isn't it, over the ball.
And we talked about it when we were at the Stoop earlier in the season. She is top of the PWR for defenders beaten, but she is also the most turned over player in the league, 23 times before tonight. But this is Gloucester-Hartpury. They've got the ball at the back. Mo Hunt is very happily going to just guide this over from here. Jones is there. Try number 7 for Gloucester-Hartpury. Neve Jones dotting it down. Textbook catch and drive from the cherry and whites.
But this is the thing that's really interesting about Gloucester. We've talked about their line out, haven't we, a lot tonight, that it's like 50-50 really, but when it works, it really does work. The speed, the formation. Quins have left quite a couple of forwards out in there, and as soon as that's moving forward, it is so difficult to stop with the weight of Quins' pack. Easy try for Neve Jones, but all about their basics done well.
Singh with another one out wide. She had plenty of practice of these all night. Goes through the routine. will almost kiss the paint. It'll remain 5 out of 7, but a decent effort from Singh. Decent effort from Gloucester-Hartpury as well. News at half-time of a couple of players renewing, one of them Mo Hunt, but the other Zoe Allcroft, who is chatting with LJ.
Well, the news just broken by Nick Heath live on TNT that you and Mo Hunt have re-signed your deals here. Easiest decision you've ever made, eh, Zoe?
Yeah, I think you can say that. No, it was actually a little bit trickier this year, but no, I think like deep down, like it's definitely the right decision, and as Mo's doing it as well, it's definitely the right club to be at.
You're obviously not a local girl, but you have become an adopted Gloucester-Hartpury native now. How much do you enjoy your rugby here? What's it like to be part of this amazing club?
Yeah, it's amazing, and I've been here a few years now, and it's just been really nice to grow as a team. Obviously, we've been in the 5th and 6th position at times, and then coming up and like being a successful team as we are now, it's just amazing to be there and amazing to have been on the journey.
Part of a successful team and successfully so far defending that title. Is all going to plan here tonight? Who stuck out for you amongst your teammates?
I think definitely Maud Muir. She made an absolutely amazing run down here. I think obviously Mo as well, heartbeat of the team. Flakes has had some really good kicking, and then credit to our youngsters on the wings, Pip Hendy and Nell Metcalf. They've been fantastic week in, week out over the last few weeks. So they've also done very, very well.
Just over 10 minutes left, just over 10 minutes away from a home semi-final. How important will that be for Queen's Home to have playoff rugby again?
Yeah, so important. Obviously, we had the final here, and that was a massive occasion for Gloucester. So to have the semi-final here, build the crowd again, hopefully put on a great show, that would be absolutely amazing.
Well, we look forward to being down here. Let's get it back up to Nick now.
Thanks, LJ. Great to hear from Zoe Allcroft as well.
There comes a pair, don't there? Zoe Allcroft, Mo Hunt, where one goes, the other follows.
And Mo Hunt has made way as well. Job done for tonight, so Katie Mattinson on to replace her. WXV2 winner with Scotland, Katie Mattinson, having moved to Gloucester-Hartpury after the demise of Worcester Warriors. And Millie Hyatt will try and boot Gloucester-Hartpury a little further down that far touchline. Here's Mattinson. 8th appearance of the season.
Where are you?
Got some really talented scrum halves at Gloucester, you know, obviously Mo, Bianca Blackline, Katie Mattinson, all very, very good scrum halves, good pedigree, yeah.
Also change being made for Harlequins with Latcher and Tirani having left the field for Spurrier and Duffy. Hyatt just out the back for Hannah Jones, but she was well trapped down by Flo Robinson, replacement 9, who was also on for Harlequins. All the changes being made. Nicole Wythe on as well. Hannah Jones not seeing the options any wider there, so or was it Hyatt just opted to just give the soft one for Jones, and then Hannah Jones now arriving on the shoulder as Connie Powell tries to stop 3 Gloucester-Hartpury players in one go. Then it's away for Tui Pilotti, who was onto the field as well for Gloucester-Hartpury. One-woman bomb squad. Little look to the right, and Tui Pilotti carries it. Mattinson, Beckett in front of the posts. Fans turn up the volume as Gloucester-Hartpury knock on the door of Harlequins once more. 7 points away from the most amount of points they've had on the board in one game so far in the PWR this season. All Harlequins sensing the ball was out. What's the call from Sarah Cox?
I've become just drop the ball there. Thank you. Off you go.
Not quite sure what the decision was there.
Time off. 15. Time's off. She has her hands in the ruck.
So we've got another change, and it's going to be Lizzie Goulden coming on for Gloucester-Hartpury, which is going to allow Emma Singh to make way. Well, if you're looking to make your audition for your national head coach before you make your way into camp, not sure Emma Singh could have done much better tonight. couple that went very, very close, but 5 out of 7, and plenty of them were from the touchline with pretty good going and involved in plenty in attack as well. And it's Gloucester-Hartpury who are in attack once more. Careering towards the line and over the line, and it's try number 8. Niamh Jones getting over the line once more. Katie Mew doesn't like what she sees, but Jones won't mind. Second try of the match for her, and the home side up to 50 points.
Backed themselves at the line out, didn't they? They went there, and again, that lady sits at the back, organised by the pack in front of her. Ball is transferred really nicely, and it's so hard for Quins once it gets moving there. You think they've done a good job, they get a little shift, Katie Matson barking orders in behind. I'm not sure where Niamh Jones sneaks out of. There she is, right at the front. And just as it's all starting to become a bit messy, just pops out the side.
Lizzie Goulden's first job then. Conversion effort. It's just going to push past the face of the uprights. 5-0 up for Gloucester-Hartpury. Niamh Jones might be feeling that one. 8 minutes remain. Niamh Jones will be making way.
Sorry.
We'll be seeing the introduction of a PWR debutant. Or in fact, I'm not sure that we are going to be seeing Gwennan Hopkins, because Kelsey Jones, having left the field,
Cool, no worries. Time back on.
maybe down as a front row replacement. In the meantime, knock on from Gloucester-Hartpury and a knock on from Harlequins. So we are going to have a scrum now. As Catherine Buggy looks over to the touchline. Irish international replacement.
Yeah, that's all right.
She'll be wondering what the call is going to be, because we need a requisite front row. Kelsey Jones, having played flanker all match, is just waiting for the admin to be completed.
Are we going uncontested, or are you okay? Yeah, that's all right, mate. That's fine. Not a problem.
Of course, teams have to nominate
James, if you just
front
help run
row
us out,
eligible players, which Kelsey Jones will be.
We're just working out front row, okay?
Someone down there with a clipboard.
Injured, so it's just who's coming on.
We'll know exactly
So on and so forth to fulfil the front row bit.
what needs to be done.
Get your grid out, mate.
Sarah Cox, I think, is going to take charge of this personally.
Get your grid out. Going up. Cool. Right, do we have a suitable front rower that can play that position to keep the contested front row? Yep, cool.
And part of this is whether the replacement has been down as a tactical or injury replacement, as to whether a player can come back.
Yes. Yeah.
There we go. Kelsey Jones is able to come on, so we've got a hooker wearing number 6, and we can have a scrum. Katie Jada McLean, I know you're very relieved.
I was very worried, Nick. You can probably see by my face. Somewhere that Kelsey Jones is probably more at home with, because she's played the majority of her rugby this season in that 2 shirt, so he's probably quite happy to come back on there.
Well, let's not say majority, all of it, absolutely all of it. She's not played in the back row at all. That's part of this season.
Pedantics, you know what I mean?
I know. Well, I suppose apart
Semantics.
from the previous 72 minutes, so, when it was, she went, no. Okay, should we just carry on?
Please do.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Steady!
In from Robinson. Scott, missed pass for Tuima. Emily Scott on the outside, and then Kildunn, who gets away. Kildunn then put in the little chip through. Burford giving chase. It's been picked up. Good recovery as Metcalf takes it forwards. Oh, but then there's the penalty, Quins. Emily Robinson loves the sound of it. Emily Scott, I think, who was in there over it.
Opportunity for Harlequins to get a bonus point here if they can get a score. 4 tries, they've currently got 3, and that'd be massive for them, you know. When you look at positives, seeing that lady again, Ellie Kildun, Lizzie Golden gets a big fend there, and she's so quick, and that again is a lovely little touch inside, stays away from the touchline, puts the kick in.
In from Quins, they'll engage this drive again. Connie Powell has already broken away once into the corner to get a score. She has a little look. They might just keep it tight and try and get themselves over that line, which they're beginning to do. Powell drops down, and Harlequins have their 4th try. They will, at the very least, be leaving Kingsholm with a bonus point for a 4th try.
And I think well deserved, you know, the scoreline probably doesn't reflect that first half that Quins showed. Second half, that first 20 minutes of the second half where Gloucester were untouchable, just ran in tries for fun. But here, again, going back to their basics, what they do well. Connie Powell sat at the back, you think Gloucester piling a lot of players, and it's just that control and patience, isn't it? Just allowing that pressure in front of you, feeling the weight of it. Nice finish. And like I say, a well-deserved point for Quins.
Conversion effort good then. Harlequins up to 24. Restart, straight down the middle. Ellie Kildun fancies a little midfield dink. There was some space there. And Kildun will follow up. Mattinson plays it in all. It's been lost though. Nicole Wythe is going to be given the chance to get onto it. Halfway line.
Don't touch it.
Robinson through Powell. Burford looked at winding up the big one, but thought she would ride the contact just in case. Powell, Scott, well met by Hyatt. Robinson, Kildun. Wanted, I think, just to ship that on to Cowell, but no sufficient advantage coming from the knock-on, so Sarah Cox is bringing them back for the knock-on. What a momentary pause then. Katie Daly-McLean, who's impressed you this evening?
Yeah, I think there's been some good. I thought Tuma for Quins has been outstanding when they've attacked. I think in the Gloucester colours, you know, Maud Muir was very good. This lady on your screen, Sarah Beckett, has got through a ton of work. Big carries, 2 tries, put a name firmly in the hat of John Mitchell's plans on Monday, hasn't she? But my lady of the match for today has got to be Nell Metcalf, you know. For a youngster, I thought she took her tries phenomenally well. She's carried well. And when Gloucester had that rise momentum, she did the job to finish off those tries. So she is my player of the match.
Might have just clocked herself on the big screen as well. Fleming at the tail is under all sorts of pressure. It comes back on the Gloucester-Hartpury side. Beckett is still there controlling it effectively from the second row. Hyatt. Mattinson. Big carry. Steph Elts. Former Scarborough RFC. Now the big one wound up on the outside. Is this going to be a chance for Metcalf to race another one in? She's looking to get round on the outside. Metcalf with the hat-trick to cap off a super night at Kingsholm. And Gloucester-Hartpury put the most points on the board than they've scored all season.
Don't you love it when that happens? It goes one of 2 ways, doesn't it? She either drops that or she gets a hat-trick, and she got the hat-trick. And Yeah, it's a great finish, great scrum. And then again, I was screaming for them to pull out the back. Great ball by Hannah Jones into space. And, you know, the confidence that this lady has, again, just takes the outside. It's great to see. We've talked about the wingers, you know, there's some fantastic wingers in the league at the moment, but I think she's been brilliant tonight. She's backed her pace, stayed away from the touchline, and she's finished those tries really, really confidently.
Well, it's not quite the biggest score margin, which Gloucester-Hartpury managed to put against Leicester Tigers in round 2, but it is the most they've scored in one encounter. Wonderful effort from Lizzie Goulden. 57 points on the board. 9 tries all in all. Hat-trick for that lady there. Really contestable restart. And the Cattle did a good job to get there, but just batted it back into the head of Connie Powell. No knock-on if it comes off the head, a reminder. That's why the referee says play on. Mattinson is having a look. They will want the clock to tick into the red, which it does. Mattinson knows the line is there and will conclude the contest. And we say contest, but really, after the hour mark, it stopped being that much of a contest, because that is the power of the champions. 9 tries all in all. A brace for Sarah Beckett, a brace for Neve Jones. Super score from Maud Muir, Pit Hendy in there as well, but it was a hat-trick for Nell Metcalf that saw Katie Daly-McLean offer her the player of the match nod. And this Gloucester-Hartpury outfit, with victory, have secured themselves a place in the PWR playoffs. They've got a home semi-final with 3 rounds of the match to go as it finishes at Kingsholm. Gloucester-Hartpury 57, Harlequins 24.